Oklahoma hosting Alabama in the college football playoff first round. We got a full preview, a full breakdown, how each coach should go about it, how they should call plays, and what the overall philosophy should be for each team. And God, it's so delicious. Welcome to Crain & Company. Subscribe. The college football playoff is set. We have some awesome games in the first round that, remember, are on college campuses. So the teams will actually host, and one of the biggest ones that we have, and they're all big. All right, but Oklahoma hosting Alabama, it's going to be massive. Now, you have two offenses that are struggling, a defense in Alabama that has continued to get better, and a defense in Oklahoma that will just lock you away in solitary confinement and throw away the key. As usual, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback to my left, Blaine Crain, former Western State Colorado wide receiver to my right. Hit that subscribe button. We are almost to 200,000. Are we at 196 yet? We got to be close.
Yeah, we're close, Coach.
We're real close. We want to get to the 200,000 mark before the national champion is crowned. Blaine, before we get into this, give me the side, give me the total. What is it? What is the over-under? 14 and a half?
Actually 12 and a half.
The same age you have to be an R-rated, see an R-rated movie in cinema.
This game opened up at -1.5 Alabama. Right now it is sitting -1.5 Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The over-under opened at 41.5 and is now sitting at 40.5. The money laying a little bit on the over. Money line Alabama -108. Money line Oklahoma -112.
Well, you know, again, the biggest talking point here will be, well, Oklahoma's beat Alabama twice in a row. Oklahoma's defense is really good. Alabama's defense has continually gotten better. It seems like they've simplified a couple things, especially in pre-snap alignment defensively. But both offenses have struggled, and Alabama down the stretch has really struggled on offense. Now, you've played against some pretty good defenses. Oklahoma has as well. But, David, when I'm looking at what's going to give here, it's hard not to default to the home team. But the more I think about this game, it almost feels like one of those games where somebody loses it. They don't win it. What do I mean by that? Now, a lot of teams lose games. They don't win them. It's actually an art form for some teams. But it just feels like with both these defenses, with the struggling offenses, how conservative will the play calling be? And will it be that one turnover? Will it be that huge special teams play? It's going to come down to 3 to 5 plays, but is this just more about who's going to blow it? That's what it feels like to me. Is it going to be Alabama's offense or Oklahoma's offense?
Well, for full transparency, I was hoping for some fresh matchups in the playoffs. Yeah. But if we're going to get a rematch, then Alabama and Oklahoma in Norman for a college football playoff game is top tier, okay? And there was a stretch there in the middle of the season after the Florida State debacle early on for Alabama, but before they kind of fell off here towards the end of the season, still played for the SEC championship game. But in the middle of the year there, right, Ty Simpson had thrown 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, and while they looked better in some games than other, one thing they weren't doing was turning the football over. And that's what I told you guys before they played Oklahoma. Can Oklahoma do to Alabama what Texas did to them? Force turnovers, because Alabama was so good in so many other areas, including time of possession, which is kind of interesting for a team that doesn't necessarily run the football well. When you go back and look at that Alabama-Oklahoma round 1 game in the middle of the season, Alabama was better on third down. They won the penalty battle. They won time of possession 34 minutes to 25 minutes. 3 turnovers to no turnovers. Remember, Oklahoma only scored 1 touchdown on offense, the John Mateer run. They had the pick 6 against Ty Simpson with the coverage breakdown that we broke down on Huddle Up, and they kicked 3 field goals. And that's why you beat Alabama 23 to 21. So I'm really interested to see here. And again, in the SEC championship game, lost the turnover battle to Georgia. Now, they lost a lot of other things in that game, too. But again, turning the football over for Alabama has been a kryptonite and a recipe for disaster.
Well, and Blaine, too, you know, again, we're going to talk about Alabama's lack of ability to run the ball. And Oklahoma, look, Robinson's given them a spark in some games. They do have some pieces that you feel like once they get going, I mean, Satania obviously coming over in the transfer portal has been huge for them. But with Alabama's lack of ability to run the ball, I think what would worry me the most if I was an Alabama fan is that the extended handoffs that Ryan Grubb tries to implement, the quick throws, the short game, the bubbles, the nows, things like that, Oklahoma tackles really, really well in space, and they swarm to the ball. But then also, you know, a lot of the stuff that Oklahoma did defensively from a try and confuse you standpoint was in coverage and pressures on third down where it's going to come from, showing you things. I don't think Oklahoma has to stack the box to stop the run, and they tackle well in space. Does Alabama just got to take deep shots? I think you got to take at least 10.
Are you going to
have
have
to do it on first and second down.
Are you going to have time to take deep shots?
Well, again,
after what I just saw of that offensive line in Alabama, if they play any remotely close to the way they played against Georgia against this Oklahoma team, Ty Simpson's going to get killed. He's going to
Oklahoma will be
a lot
healthier.
of people want to sit here and blame everything on Ty Simpson, and I do think he has kind of regressed. But I promise you, that offensive line is not helping. Go back and watch these games. I can remember Ty Simpson be able to sit into a clean pocket, go through his progressions, and actually read something cleanly. And I promise you, that's not going to become easier when you play this Oklahoma team. And the real question is which offense can, one, actually run the ball, actually stay on schedule, and which quarterback can make the big play in the big moments? I don't know what's happened to John Mateer. I really don't. The fall off has just been absolutely crazy, but I do think John Mateer's legs were somewhat of a difference in the first time they played, can be a difference in this game, but it just feels like one of these games again for Alabama. You have to put everything on Ty Simpson. He has to shoot 90% from three for you to go out there and win, and that's just a bad recipe against Oklahoma because you did that last time. Ty Simpson threw for 300 yards, right? You outgained Oklahoma. You doubled their yardage, right? But you play a dangerous game when you throw the ball that many times. That led to a pick six, another turnover. And if you give that Oklahoma team stuff like that where at home, then that's just a recipe for disaster. So as bad as it's going to sound, Alabama is going to have to find, whether that's working backwards in your play calling from pass to run, you're going to have to somewhat try to run the ball in this game.
Well, it feels like you got to get Oklahoma going side to side somewhat. Whether that's putting Jeremy Bernard or putting the back out and empty, bringing him back in, running your jet sweep motion, trying to slow down, the army that Oklahoma has on defense, and use Brent Venables' ability to get creative against him. I mean, we talk about replacing the blitz with the ball, but I mean, David, going back to that first Oklahoma game, Ty couldn't find where the blitz was going. It kept fooling him. It's hard to replace the blitz with the ball when you think the blitz is coming from one area and it comes from another in real time, which led to one of those turnovers. And again, you went through it so perfectly. It was so good. The wrong guy intercepted the ball and ran it back for a touchdown. But I do think if you go back and watch the Georgia game, Bama took a couple shots deep. You had the pass interference on Ryan Williams that gave you that 15 yards, and then another play where Ryan should have caught the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. He ended up not. But it's not just Ryan. It's Horton. It's Jeremy Bernard. There has to be some sort of threat vertically against Oklahoma to loosen those guys up in the middle, or they're just going to run around with their hair on fire and screw stuff up. You're going to live in 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the things that Alabama had done so well for most of the year was the verticality with the pass game. They would threaten you. And while they didn't run the football that well throughout the season, that would open up other things like end arounds. Ryan Williams taking an end around for 70 yards against Wisconsin, right? They'd find different ways to get it going there. So that part's been a bit surprising. What Georgia did really well, in my opinion, in the SEC championship game was whichever way they thought Ty Simpson and Alabama was going to set their pass protection, they would bring pressure the other way, right? To at least force the quarterback to go up and change that pass protection and audible. And a couple times they got home, but again, there's different ways to win other than just getting a sack. And both these quarterbacks have mobility as a secret weapon. But Ty Simpson wasn't able to use his mobility against that Georgia defense. Again, you're talking about the most elite defenses in the country when you're talking about Georgia and Alabama and Oklahoma. You can't just run away from these guys when you're in trouble. So which one of them is able to break and make a big play here or there, I think that's going to be the difference. And that sort of gets me into Oklahoma on offense. While they've been incredibly inconsistent, one of the things that Oklahoma has done on offense through that inconsistency is find a way to hit big plays. It's every now and then. It's not all the time. You never know when it's going to happen, but I just go back to, and I think that's why Isaiah Satania is going to be the most important player in this game. What an 87-yard slant route he took to the house against Missouri. Remember, Oklahoma's losing to LSU. We might not even be talking about Oklahoma in the college football playoff if they don't come back and beat LSU with 4 minutes left in that football game. 58-yard big play from Isaiah Satania to put LSU away. So again, they could play awful the entire game, but if John Mateer finds Satania his number one weapon on just one play and he takes that to the house, that could be the difference.
Guys, I love when we talk about sponsors that we actually use in real life, like our friends over at Aura Frames. We have one in our house. My wife loves it. 11-month-old daughter just watches it and swipes and laughs. Just an incredible idea, and I know you have one at your house.
We
it's
love
a great
it, man.
gift.
Oh, I love taking photos.
Yeah.
So
you
this
can
is
just
a
upload
great
them
way.
right
You just
to it.
upload them the second you take an awesome photo of your kid, and it plays throughout the day. You get to see it.
So if you're stressing over what to get this holiday season, look, take the easy win. Take the easy win, go to Aura Frames, get one of them. They're always a hit. You get unlimited photo and video storage completely free. You just download the app, you connect the Wi-Fi. But the best part is you can actually preload the photos before the frame even ships. If you want this great deal, it's a limited time. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, but you got to use the promo code BOOSTER at checkout. That's BOOSTER. That's AURAFrames.com. Use promo code BOOSTER because this deal is exclusive to our listeners and watchers. So order yours and get this big win. Well, that's why if you're Kane Womack and you're Alabama defensively and you're watching the tape on Oklahoma, to your point, David, especially here lately, it's not like Oklahoma is throwing 9 routes and posts and hitting them for 70 yards.
Yeah.
It's a slant against 0 coverage or caught him in a blitz, or a guy making 2 guys miss and hitting it out from 60, or even Xavier Robinson when he's able to catch a lane. Blaylock hasn't been used as much as Robinson, but we know he's a guy with speed on the outside, even though he's a young player. I think his future is really bright. So if you're Kane Womack, can Oklahoma consistently go 8, 9, 10 plays with how inconsistent Mateer has been throwing the ball from the short to the intermediate in the deep? I just don't know how many risks I'm going to take against Oklahoma's offense, and that includes run stunts. I don't got to sit here and slant the whole game. I don't have to run tons or exits or things like that up front to be able to create negative plays. Oklahoma's offensive line, I think, has gotten a little bit better throughout the year, but it's not to a point, even without LT Overton, if he's banged up. Alabama has guys, you can go out there, and I'm not saying you run base, but do you risk, hey, we're gonna bring a ton here, and then all of a sudden they pick you on mesh or something, and there goes Satania, or there's a slant. They run some sort of neutral off of some stack formation with a slant, and he hits you for 70. If I'm Alabama, you're going to have to go 10, 11, 12 plays because Mateer hadn't been consistent throwing the ball.
No, I agree with that. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, obviously you want someone to be able to nickel. You want somebody to have to execute every single time to go out there and beat you, especially when it's 13 to 14-yard plays. It's just, I think this Oklahoma team could do that.
On offense?
Yeah.
How?
I think, if you're just going to sit and play base. Right,
I'm not saying
you're not risking.
Play base the whole time. I would show a lot of different things or the same thing and give you a different result. You can't live in a world of absolutes. I'm not saying you go out there and you just play base. What I'm saying is if it's 3rd and 6, I'm not bringing the house.
No.
I'm not. No. Well, Brent is going to at some points. And then on the other side, Kane Womack wants to blitz. If it's 3rd and 6 against Oklahoma, you're going to have to throw that stick route against me at 7. Mateer's going to have to be on time. He's going to have to fit it in underneath. I'm just saying I'm not going to go out here and go for broke unless, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, run your play action.
That's where, if you're playing the Buckeyes or if you're playing Ole Miss or Texas A&M, the dynamic changes, right?
Sure.
Because those teams, to me, like Julian Sand will just be like, yeah, I'll find Jeremiah Smith on the hook route all day, and we'll just go 10 plays. Or, come on up. We'll run slow-go on 4th and 6 is what they did against Michigan for the Jeremiah Smith touchdown over the top. Those type of teams can do that to you. But to your point, I'm watching Oklahoma struggle, and then 90-yard slant route to the house. Sure. Struggle.
It's like they get
75-yard play. And again, those big plays are why they're in the college football playoff right now. And they can hit anybody, and they can hit you at any time. They just don't do it consistently. The thing was in that first game, though, 0 turnovers for John Mateer and the Oklahoma offense. And 3 for Alabama. And you won by 2 points.
Yeah.
Can they recreate a 0 turnover game? That's my biggest question.
I would think so. Especially with the way this Oklahoma team just performs on offense. There's nothing that scares me on Oklahoma on offense. Even Satania. Look, I know he's a great player and he's hit some big plays, but a lot of the things that have happened has been absolute coverage busts on the other side of the football. If you come and play fundamental against Oklahoma and make them go 13 to 14-yard plays, obviously that's what you want. But I think this Oklahoma team can do that because if Oklahoma can get the run game going, if you come out and you're even for everything on defense and you have somewhat of a plus on the side of running the football, not only with your running back, but with your quarterback, that's only going to open up things in the passing area with Satania. If it's me, I'm a little bit more dialed in on Oklahoma's run. To be crazy with you, to be honest with you, I want Mateer to beat me through the air. I really 100%. I don't think they can do that. Oklahoma wants to run the football and play defense. Like, you shoot yourself in the foot, and we're going to find a way to win.
Well, with both of these offenses, though, what I'm saying defensively is I don't think you have to overcompensate to stop the run. I don't think you do. Bama will abandon, and that was the crazy thing against Georgia. Bama didn't abandon the run for a while. Like, Bama held on for as long as humanly possible. The sequencing, and we talked about this after the game, the amount of times that Bama ran it on first down in the first 3 quarters had to be overwhelming when you looked at the numbers. They never really got off of it. I'm just wondering, there's this battle in the offensive mind of, all right, so again, even though I'm the offensive coordinator at Alabama, we're playing Oklahoma. I know how much they've struggled on offense as well. How much do I put our team in harm's way by maybe pitching backwards a lot more, throwing on early downs and things like that? Or do I sit here and say, you know what? We're going to pound our head against the wall on the run. We're going to see if we can do it. If we can't do it, I'll adjust there. But we are not going to be the reason that we lose the game like we were last time, because this one's just adding up to us looking up at the fourth quarter and this game being 13-10. That's what it feels. And again, it's, well, if it's going to come down, this may come down between Talty and Sandell. It really may. And Oklahoma's lefty can absolutely bang it. Talty's been...
He's bounced back nicely.
Kind of wishful, but he has bounced back. You should be a little bit more confident. Really didn't get an opportunity against Georgia. But it's just, how much are you willing to risk? If you're Ben Arbuckle, who got brought into Oklahoma to transform this trash offense that they've had, and it hasn't been great. Mateer hasn't been great. But how much is your ego going to let you say, you know what? No. Playoffs, new us, fresh offense.
We're
taking shots.
It don't matter about
It's a bachelorette party.
It don't matter about you. It don't matter about
We're taking shots and taking chances, right?
It don't matter about your ego. It matters what the head coach is going to let.
Well, see, again, who are the head coaches? One is an offensive guy. One is a defensive guy. But Kalen DeBoer, I don't think is going to tell Ryan Grubb what to do. Ryan Grubb's going to do what Ryan Grubb wants to do. I'm just wondering who, because offensive coordinators and play callers and quarterbacks are the greediest human beings on the planet.
Gotta be.
The greediest ones on the planet. The only one I don't think is greedy is Fernando Mendoza, but I don't think he's ever made a mistake in his life. I'm just wondering who pulls the ripcord first. Or is Brent Venables going to sit Arbuckle down and say, look, dog, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how this is going to go. We're hosting this game. Alabama struggled on offense. We're a lot healthier on defense. We're going to run the ball. We're not going to make John Mateer do a Sudoku puzzle in the middle of this game. I want a lot of John Mateer runs. I want a hat on the hat. I want to control time of possession. I know that's what I'd do if I was Brent Venables. We would sit down and there'd be a come to Jesus meeting with me and Ben Arbuckle of how you're not going to blow this. I'm just wondering on the other side, how's it going to be with Grubb? This episode is sponsored by our friends over at Shopify. You know, starting a podcast can feel overwhelming. You have scripts, you have setups, schedules, logos. We're trying to figure it all out, still are. But one thing you do find out, though, is when you're launching something, that to-do list is going to grow daily. But having a tool that helps and simplifies can be an absolute game changer. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Make that noise, David. Cha-ching! Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and 10% of all U.S. e-commerce. Starting out is simple. You just pick one of their hundreds of templates and customize it to match your style. No design skills needed. And creating content, that's where their AI really shines, and it won't take over the world. But the best part is how easy marketing becomes, because you can reach your customers wherever, whenever, because behind the scenes, Shopify handles everything else: inventory, shipping, returns, because when you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. So turn your big business into, make that noise.
Cha-ching!
Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Crain. Go to shopify.com/CRAIN. That's shopify.com/Crain.
Cha-ching. This is the Bourbon Bowl. You can't hold anything back.
I know, but bye.
You can't hold anything back. And if you're Ryan Grubb, you got to be sitting there looking like, wait, we were one of the most dynamic offenses in the country for a large stretch against quality competition, not through the FCS opponents, through a large stretch of the SEC schedule. We can get back to that. We can get the book getting out on us.
This ain't
the book getting out on us.
I don't know. I feel like it is.
We slipped a couple games here and there. All right, Kirby's Kirby, but we and that's just the mindset that they're gonna have.
Well,
they do need to be healthy though.
And again, I'm not saying don't be confident, but also there's levels to it.
He's going to be like, look, we ran it the first 3 plays against Georgia and went 3 and out.
Well, how many
We
times,
don't run it well. We're just going to throw it.
You need to be safe and dangerous at the same time.
How many times on 3rd and 11 are you going to take a chance to try and throw this against coverage to get a first down? That's what I'm interested in. Look, the plays on the in-between, the 3rd and 3s, right, 3rd and 4s, stuff like that, there's a lot that can work there. I'm interested to see the personnel and formation game. But it's all right, hey, it's 7-3 right now. We're up or we're down 4. It's 3rd and 12. We're at our own 36. Just run a draw. Run the screen. Let's punt it, play field position. That, to me, is I wonder how many people on 4th and 1 at midfield in the first 3 quarters of this game or before you have to go for it are not just going to say, we're going to punt it and play field position. I just think that the conservative nature of this game is going to be at an all-time high because of the matchup. Because look, Georgia stopping the run, elite on defense. The pass rush and not just getting sacks. I thought they affected Ty within the pocket. But with Oklahoma, you're getting the full scope. Like, this is arguably the best defense in college football. And now they've had how many weeks off to sit here and get healthy? You've had SEC championship week. Bama had to play. You're going to have this week. You're going to have next week. You're going to give Brent Venables' defense 3 weeks off to get ready and come out here and hunt. I'm just wondering, like, when do you say when in this one? That's what I find.
If I'm Alabama, I just might come out empty every play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You might.
You're not. Look,
dog. Take your shot.
Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer. You're not gonna be able to run the ball against these guys. They're number 1 in the country. You're not gonna be able to do it.
No.
Just abandon it. Abandon.
And you can't try and get cute.
You can probably the best runs you'll have come out empty.
Quarterback draw.
QB.
Yeah.
Hey, we already got in over Notre Dame. Let's just let it all
Or
hang loose.
like who goes tempo? Like, as that little change up. Could Bama come out, first drive? Hey, let's go fast. Like, because to me, people say, Jake, well, you know, you're talking about not taking chances. You want to throw the ball deep. Look, you want to intercept the ball 55 yards downfield? Okay. That's a lot better than a tip pass off a slant or, you know, me mixing and all of a sudden a dig going over the head of my guy running the dig right to one of the Bowen brothers, one of the 9 Bowen brothers. It's like Cheaper by the Dozen movie with the Bowen family out there picking the ball off and running back for a touchdown. I'm just, philosophically, I am fascinated to see what the offensive play calling is.
2 more things on the Alabama side. I mean, they're a different team when Jam Miller and LT Overton are playing. Those guys didn't play in the SEC championship game. Let's keep track of their health and how they're progressing because they need those guys back. And the second thing is, Alabama's difficulty scoring points in the second half, especially the back half of this season. Alabama fans sent me this yesterday. Since the Tennessee game, they've scored 15, 3, 7, 10, and 7 in the second half of football games, and 0 in the second half the first time they played Georgia. So, you know, and they've gotten off to hot starts in a lot of these games, so it didn't end up biting them. But man, you got to figure out a way.
That's not going to get any easier.
Make your adjustments and score in the second half.
How is anybody going to move the ball in the red zone in this game? Any idea?
Someone just run the tight end hide. It works every time.
The tight end hide
works every
and then
time.
You're gonna see it. And Georgia used it in the second half. How many of those now screens are we gonna get till somebody stalking goes off one with a tight end or a receiver on the interior of the X? Like how long are you gonna call it? Because I'm sure once both these teams figure out you can't run the ball, hell, Alabama may start out with it. How many times is Jeremy Bernard going to get that now? Hey, just please God, try and get us in 2nd 6. Because there's going to be so many 2nd 8s. And then the penalties, right? The pre-snap penalties. And again, this goes for Oklahoma too. But Alabama going on the road, bro, 1st and 15 in this game might as well be 1st and 45. You just cannot operate. Or going from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. You might as well go from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 15. Like I am so excited to, first off, make a ton of money by betting the under. Because, I mean, hell, it's what, 40 and a half?
Yeah.
20-17 would feel like 1,000,000 points in this game. 1,000,000, and it would still hit by 3 points. You'd still be covered by the field goal there. But
remember the last time they played, it was 23-21.
It was. I'm telling you right now, I'm not second time tendencies. You know them. God, the physicality of this one. Like, who's going to get tossed for targeting? It's going to happen in the first half.
No,
one guy's going to get hit. One guy's going to get
that.
hit. Somebody's going to try and send a message over the middle in this one.
Pads are going to be popping in this game.
This is not for the
weak stomached to go watch this football game. It's going to be car wreck after car wreck after car wreck, and I can't wait.
Over under on grounding calls in this game, 3.5.
I'd take the under. That's
Under,
a lot. But I'd see where you're going with this.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I don't think referees know
it's
what
gonna
grounding
be-
is anyways. It changes every time.
It really does. All right, well, in the comments, we want to know, give us a score. We haven't done our predictions yet. Cannot wait for this game. Oklahoma hosting Alabama in the college football playoff. We're going to have our Texas A&M and Miami preview that we're putting out tomorrow as well. Make sure you check out all the content. And like the chances of me not being ready, wishing this thing would kick off this weekend, we're going. God.
All of this is an illusion, an echo of a voice that has died. And soon that echo will cease.
They say that Merlin is mad. They say he was a king in Dyfed, the son of a princess of lost Atlantis. They say the future and the past are known to him, that the fire and the wind tell him their secrets, that the magic of the hill folk and druids come forth at his easy command. They say he slew hundreds. Hundreds, do you hear? That the world burned and trembled at his wrath.
The Merlin died long before you and I were born.
Merlin Emrys has returned to the land of the living.
Vortigern is gone. Rome is gone. The Saxon is here.
Saxon Hengist has assembled the greatest war host ever seen in the Island of the Mighty. And before the summer is through, he means to take the throne. And he will have it. If we are too busy squabbling amongst ourselves to take up arms against him, here is your hope. A king will arise to hold all Britain in his hand. A high king who will be the wonder of the world.
You to a future of peace.
There'll be no peace in these lands till we are all dust.
Men of the Island of the Mighty, you stand together. You stand as Britons. You stand as one.
Great darkness is falling upon this land. These brothers are our only hope to stand against it.
Not our only hope.
They say Merlin slew 70 men with his own hands. At Cathay, he slew 500.
No man is capable of such a thing.
The mortal man.